what would make the list this week of the cons of being Asian?
What you said one that I had on my list too, but I didn't name this one.
Go for it.
This is I think well mine is Asians are too nice.
Yeah.
So we
Passive.
we're too passive, and so we get stepped on, stepped over, and it's almost common practice to make fun of Asians while we're actually still in the room. You know, we're actually the only group that if they want to make fun of us or joke about us, there is no turning back and looking, make sure there's no Asians or right. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care if Asians are around or in the room.
Yeah, no, like you're saying that like being Asian and living in Minnesota, we're doubling up on passive aggression.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
How did we land so well in Minnesota? I wasn't from Minnesota,
Right.
But how did we get to double up in this,
Right.
identity of passive aggressiveness?
Yeah, I don't know because I think, well, if you think about it too, though, the Hmongs that do come to Minnesota, they came here because their parents came to work, right? It's not like
And also the Lutherans that hosted the Hmong folks from the refugee camps.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, Minnesota's not that passive if you really think about it. Because when I went to when I went to Washington, right? That was the time I experienced like the folks there are a lot more passive than we are here. And I'm just like,
Seattle?
Man,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree to disagree.
Yeah, because I don't know, but yeah, that's just my take on it. But like,
Wait, is Seattle kind of like California where they're a bunch of liberals, or?
Yeah, you can say so.
Yeah, I think Seattle's more hippie-ish though.
Yeah.
Seattle is definitely more hippie-ish. They're liberal, but I think they have more of. I think they own their identity. I think I think there's a niceness here that is genuine, and I think we should value it. But there's a huge shadow side where the niceness, when it comes off sometimes, or when it's not healthy,
right.
There's just an aggression or a microaggression around it. So
yeah, I think Californians they are like that, like what Gu was saying, because they actually believe in that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've been in Minnesota my whole life, dude. Yeah, people are nice, but they are some fake ass people here.
Right.
I'm not saying all Minnesotans. I love Minnesota. Don't get me wrong. Like I
Go.
love Minnesota.
It's amazing, right?
There are some
Yeah.
fake, like the whole Minnesota nice thing, right?
It's not.
It's not.
Dude, road rage. Dude, I go to Seattle and not a single person honked at me. People are like letting me go through the lanes.
Yeah.
And like in Minnesota,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Though.
And like, but like in Minnesota here, it's like every man for himself, you know. So I don't really quite get the whole Minnesota nice thing. Like, what nice are they talking about, you know?
They're talking about just, being, just being pleasant and being able to like give away to like, holding the door open for others. But
I don't see
but here's the thing, I was born in Cali, moved everywhere, lived in North Carolina. I actually really enjoyed the South, like in North Carolina, where
I think they're a lot more, better.
We were very just covert. You call each other, you're Asian, you're black, you're white, but there was just a love in that where we knew where each other stand and really appreciated each other and for who they are. We called each other out, but there wasn't I'm not sure where you stand. Where the racism is real, but you understood the lines, and I think I actually enjoyed that more than like not knowing where you land with people.
Oh yeah,
than up here, 'cause
absolutely.
Minnesota, we won't tell you.
Right. I don't like you, but I'm not gonna.
But we're gonna show it in a way that is passive aggressive.
Right, because if you ever make your way up to like Mille Lacs, right, that area over there. Dude, you go there and you feel like you just went into the South, right? How the South is portrayed, like people in like overalls, they look like they're from the South. Like I bet you they have Confederate flags at home, you know? Dude, it's crazy because we would go ice fishing up there, and when you get up there, you're just like, where is this Minnesota nice at, you know?
Yeah.
So here's an example. Like I used to work in Inver Grove, right?
Yes.
So Inver Grove is well off but not rich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so Inver Grove. So I work there. It's a smaller community, so you meet a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And they're all super nice, right? But like I happen to know where one of them lives because it was auto parts, right? So
Yes.
they order parts and then I would send my driver to them, right? And so I happened to drive by their house one time, and they have a, what do you call it? A noose? What do you call it? When they,
a noose. Yeah,
a noose, right? They have a noose with a pillow that's colored in black, right?
Wow.
This is the nicest man I've ever met ever.
This ain't Halloween time, is it?
No, it's not Halloween. This is like one of the nicest old, about 60-year-old dudes that I've ever met, right? And he has a freaking noose with a black pillow hanging from his tree, right? And so I'm just like, right? So,
if you think about, when I see people like that and I go, if you think like that about black people, I'm pretty sure you don't think pleasantly about Asians too, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking crap about that dude, I'm sure you're talking crap about me too.
Yeah. It sounds like we went on a tangent passive being more geographical than a race. Yeah. But I think we all agree.
Right.
But I don't know. Would you agree, Abel, in that where the passive culture is something that we should put on our list?
So I was gonna do this. I feel like a lot of our list is due to Confucius, right?
Right.
I think a lot of it is due to Confucius, like the past. Like, Confucius did a lot of good things. That's why we are so. That's why we embrace education. That's why, as an Asian culture, we act a certain way, like right, polite. Mm-hmm. But then also that's where all the stereotypes come from. That's where the passiveness comes from. That's where we have to live for our parents. That's where. If you're not a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, you're a failure, right? So I feel like I blame Confucius for all that.
It's the root cause, right? Yeah.
But like, do we want to put that in one category? I guess that's what I would say.
I would say just passiveness.
I can go with because I just worded it out as being too nice, but being passive too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we live in a culture that's totally opposite in that sense, where you got to be assertive in some situations, especially in the workforce, and so I think it doesn't work well as you learn that the language of the workforce, like you have to be a little more assertive, and it doesn't translate well at all. So
and the ladies, they like assertive dudes, right? Like, it's weird. We have a weird culture. Like, we're in this passive culture, but then,
not all ladies.
I would say a lot of the ladies.
Yeah, I got
you. A lot of the ladies. They want that confident, assertive dude, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where sometimes we lose.
I mean, didn't they do the research and say that Asian dudes for the most part aren't desired because we're too passive too, anyways? Because we don't carry the masculinity. We you know what I'm saying? We're just too nice.
Media portrays us.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode of The Bamboo Ceiling, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at #The Bamboo Ceiling. Until next time, use your voice.